my name is Madeline, and welcome to this Yin Yoga practice for when you're on your period. So, this practice will help ease any cramps, hopefully. And when you're on your period, it's really meant to be a time of rest. So, doing Yin is a great thing just for your body to help heal, increase the blood flow and circulation. And hopefully, you'll be feeling a little bit better mentally and physically too. So let's begin with some breath. We're going to do some box breathing, which is where you inhale for a count of 4, you retain your breath at the top for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and then hold the breath at the bottom for a count of 4. So you can exhale all the air out now. Take an inhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath at the top, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath at the bottom, 2, 3, 4. Take an inhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath at the top, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath at the bottom, 2, 3, 4. And just do a couple more rounds of those at your own pace. And finishing up your last round. And then returning back to your regular breath. And we'll get into our first yin pose now. So you can come to face the front of the mat. And maybe actually let's just pause in tabletop for a moment. Maybe you want to take a little bit of movement here. Maybe some cat-cows. Maybe some circles in the body. Or maybe just remaining in stillness. So just listening to whatever your body is needing today. And then whenever you're ready, return back to that neutral tabletop and we'll prepare for a tadpole pose. So you can begin to spread the knees wide on the mat, the toes touching. So maybe even wider than a wide leg child's pose here. And if you have a blanket, this could be a great spot to place it underneath the knees. And then whenever you're ready, begin to fold forward in between the knees, resting the forehead on the mat, and just letting go. So creating some opening in the hips and the lower back. An option to just go for a wide leg child's pose instead, if that feels better. Either way, just allowing the body to melt into the earth. And trying to breathe into that lower back. Let's take a couple more breaths here in this tadpole or child's pose. And take one last deep breath. Then really slowly start to crawl those fingertips back up. Leaning to the side. And then stretching the legs out long. Shaking them out a little bit. Or doing a couple windshield wipers, rocking side to side. Then return back to stillness whenever you're ready. And we'll make our way into a butterfly pose. So start to bring the soles of the feet together. You can have them as far out in front of you as you like, or as close to you as you like. And if this is enough and you want to stay here, that's great. Option, if you have them, to grab a couple blocks and place them underneath the knees. And whenever you're ready, you can begin to fold forward towards those feet. Option to place a block underneath the forehead for some more grounding. I'm just finding a position that works best for you. And start to take your last couple breaths in this pose. And then slowly, whenever you're ready, gently press back up. Remove any props if you were using them. And gently grab hold of the outsides of those thighs and draw the knees back to center. From here, maybe you want to go for those windshield wipers once again. Try to be really gentle with yourself. And really just listening to your body. And whenever you're ready, return back to center. And we'll make our way into a caterpillar pose. So for this caterpillar, I'd encourage you to bend your knees a lot like this, because the deeper your knees are bent, the more of a lower back stretch it'll be. If you'd prefer to work the hamstrings a bit, then you can straighten your legs out long, or maybe find some kind of middle ground between the two. So whenever you're ready, you can reach those arms up to the sky, and then start to fold forward over those legs if the legs are really bent, allowing the head to drop in between them. So really getting a nice opening in the lower back. And making sure to breathe deeply. Maybe allowing yourself to sink even further with every breath that you take. And begin to take a few last breaths here. Take one last deep breath and slowly let it go. Removing the head from between the knees. Just rising back up, crawling the fingertips back up. And straightening those legs out in front of you if they were bent. And from here, for just a brief moment, bring those hands behind you and lift up. So just stretching, getting a little opening for a second. And then returning back to a seated position. And from here, we'll make our way into a squat pose. So you can bring the feet out wide, lift the seat up a little bit, and then bring those arms to the inner thigh, drawing the hands to a prayer position. This can definitely be intense. If you have a block, you can sit up on that as well, or if you have a blanket, you could always roll it up underneath the feet. So we're getting a really nice hip opening here. This is a great one to help relieve cramps, to help relieve lower back pain. So it might feel like a lot, but it's definitely going to help. But no worries if it's just not something you feel like doing today. That's cool too. So try to focus on the breath when you're in the squat. And let's take one more deep breath here. We don't need to be doing this for too long. And then slowly you can come, bring your seat back down to the ground. Return to face forward on your mat. And come all the way down onto your back. So this should feel really nice. We're not in Shavasana quite yet, but let's take just a few moments to rest here on our backs. And notice where the body is at. Notice where the mind is at, where the heart is at. And just observe. And take one more deep breath here. And slowly begin to draw those feet back up. And we'll prepare for a supported bridge. So you're going to want to grab a block here. You can start at the lowest height. Lift those hips up and then slide the block underneath the sacrum, tailbone area. So make sure it's not on the low back. And then you can adjust the height to whatever feels best for you. If you want to stay like this, that's great. If you want some more opening in the front of the hips, you can begin to stretch those legs out long, letting them soften out to the sides. If you want some opening in the chest as well, you can reach the arms up above you and maybe grab for opposite elbows here. Again, just choosing a variation that your body is needing or wanting today. Breathing all across the front side of the body. And take one more breath here. If you had the arms up above the head, begin to let that go. If your legs are out long, begin to draw those feet back in. Really gently lift those hips back up and slide the block out from underneath you. And maybe you want to go for some windshield wipers on your back, rocking the knees from side to side, letting it go. And then return back to center. We'll hug the knees into the chest. Again, option to rock a little side to side. Before returning to stillness. And we'll make our way into a reclined twist. So you can shift the hips a little over to the left. And then let those knees drop over to the right. Reach that left arm out into a T shape or cactus shape. Option, if you have one, to put a block or bolster underneath the knees or in between the knees. Or take any kind of twist variation that works for you. Take one last breath in this twist. And slowly draw those knees back to center. And we'll get right into that other side. Begin to shift the hips a little over to the left, or the right, I mean. And let those knees drop over to the left and reach that right arm out into a T shape or cactus shape. And try to imagine the breath traveling all the way up and down the spine. And begin to take your last breath here. And slowly draw those knees back to the center, into your chest. Maybe you want to rock side to side again, gently massaging that lower back. And from here, take any final poses or movement your body is needing before we move into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So maybe you want to go for a happy baby, maybe a snail pose. Again, taking whatever the body is needing. Then whenever you're ready, no rush, begin to lie flat on the mat, surrendering into the earth for your Shavasana. Letting the arms soften, the legs soften, and just surrendering. And if you have time, I encourage you to stay in the Shavasana as long as you like. This is where we'll close class today. We'll take one final breath so you can exhale all the air out now. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and then a long sigh out the mouth. And thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope your cramps are feeling a bit better. Make sure to get some rest and be gentle with yourself. And if you'd like to see more Yin Yoga videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you again next time.